Hi, everybody. I want to welcome you to Koh's show. I'm Melissa Forsythe, and I'm stepping into the Malone zone tonight, so it's going to be a good time. I'm going to go ahead and hand over to Aaron as full carbon to get us started tonight.
Melissa, thank you so much. I have brought a little assortment tonight. It's a little buffet, if you will, but I was recently traveling and stuff. I wrote a couple tunes, and when I saw the rider on this, it was like only original music. I said I could either do stuff from 7 years ago or I could do stuff from 7 days ago. So I am a little bit on book here. I'm going to play 3 acoustic songs, and then we're going to bring in Myke Z and Augie for the full carbon get up experience. But this first one is called Heart of Stone, and definitely not about an ex. I know a girl and she liked me. We were happy as can be. Then the world, it fell apart, and she thought I would break her heart. So she ran, and I chased her. I didn't have a plan, but she didn't go far. So she kept a guy with a heart of stone, more scared of love than being alone. She wondered, will he marry me? But I took too long to get ready. So she ran, and I chased her. Still didn't have a plan, but she went too far. So now this girl is way far gone, and I'm sitting here putting her in a song. Do you have a friend? 'Cause I'm all alone, sitting on a boat with a heart of stone. Maybe I'll sink and be happy, all alone at the bottom of the sea. Living all alone at the bottom of the sea is better than missing my baby. Oh, so do you have a friend? 'Cause I'm all alone, sitting on a boat with a heart of stone. So that one, Heart of Stone, thank you. That one was written a couple weeks ago. It's still fresh. It still needs a bridge. You know, send me an email if you're feeling a good bridge in there. But this next one was a long time writing. I've lost my dad in September, and definitely wanted to write a song about him. And this journey overseas was a lot about just clearing my head. You know, sometimes you got to get away from all the to-do lists in your life to figure out what you need to do. And so this next one's called Dad's Song, a.k.a. It Was a Good Life. He was born by the ocean, and he died by the sea. Even though he didn't like to live in the past, still kept those memories of the talks, the laughs, the photographs, and putting on a show. The joy of this world, sharing stories with his girls, and teaching us all how to take it slow. And he said, it was a good life, and I'm glad about it. Not a thing I would have changed. Yeah, there were some messes, but don't get mad about it. Those just come along the way. He was born by the ocean, but he walked along the land. He knows kept that spirit, carried it with him to help us understand that it's a good life. Don't complain about it, no matter how it's gone. We are lucky to see each day come and go with very little wrong in this life. In this life. His heart was in the ocean, but he loved the ones on land, and the people that he knew along the way are the ones who'd understand every moment, every smile, each connection was what makes life so good. If he ever saw a soul who was hurting, he'd stop and do everything he could to make it a good life and be glad about it, with a thing he wouldn't change. Yes, there were always some messes along the way, but share with the ones who lay. It's a good life. Don't be sad about it, not a thing you would change. Yes, there are always a few messes, don't get mad about it. Just share the good times with the ones you love along the way. Thank you. Yeah, I know we're serious right now. Don't worry, we're gonna loosen up here in a minute. We're gonna loosen up. This is just like a little bit of debut. But yeah, that one's rest in peace, Jerry Poole. This last one here is called What You Need. And this one was written quite a while ago. Too long ago, but it's called What You Need. What you need, right or wrong, is something good to hang on. As the days melt to years, as we run from all our fears, it's the rocks that keep us sound. As the waves pound against your battered will, we see them all come down, but there's still a flame to hold against the chill. And there's always time to justify your moment, and you've got life that's more than one can ask for. So why don't you want more? I say why? What about the kid in third grade? Inside, when everyone's outside playing. I know you're old, but trust it's not too late. Just think about what you're saying. And can you afford one more second? Just one more second. Can you afford another second? What happened to the kid that couldn't wait? And there's never time to justify your moment, and you've got life, so now be better than before. don't you want more? I say, why don't you want more? You got your rock, your wall, what'd you stop your life for? Well, some of them have it all, but they're still poor. Yeah, they're still poor. Well, they're still poor. Yeah, they're still poor. Ooh, they're still poor. Yeah, they're still poor. Thank you. That's called What You Need. All right, now we're done the serious part of the show. Now we're getting to the serious part of the show.
Well, while they're setting up, can I ask you a couple questions?
Absolutely.
So you said you were traveling and it was kind of revitalizing. Where'd you go?
Well, I went to France for a couple weeks, sailed on a boat with a friend of mine from college.
Nice.
And in order to save quite a bit of money, I took a layover in Iceland. And on the way back, I hit those hot springs. Highly recommend.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's I try and do a little bit every year just because, I grew up in Delaware. I love Delaware. It's super cozy. It's my home. But at the same time, it's so cozy that sometimes it's nice to just remind yourself there's this giant world out there, and I don't know any of the languages well enough to feel, comfortable speaking them. So that's part of it. But this time it was definitely, I was just trying to get outside my own head. It's been a crazy year, crazy couple years really, and and it's exactly what I needed.
Awesome. That sounds like a really good trip.
It was. Real quick before I hop into it, I do want to make sure to mention a couple things here. We do have Myke Z, Zatwarnytsky, for those who know how to say it. 3 letters at a time. We got him on the bass, and I just wanted to mention, also we have Ty Mathis coming up next. Give it up real quick for Mr. Ty Mathis coming up in here in a second. He's going to be at Weedstock September 16th and 17th. It's a festival. Check it out, support. And then Myke, he is also part of Harvey Road. They got the last Thursday of the month at the Delaware Art Museum, which is August 24th, for sure. So, in this local scene, you got to give it up. If you're playing with your friends, make sure to let everybody know where it's at because everything gets buried in the mix, And I'll mention this one more time before I head out, but myself, Full Carbon, as well as some other players, we're going to be doing a weekly starting up in September at Stitch House on Market Street. So that'll be every Wednesday, 6 to 9. Don't worry, Augie, we are leaving 6 to 9, and then we have plenty of time to get over to Oddity. My man Augie on the drums plays at Oddity every Wednesday night, 9:30 to 1:30. It's an industry night. Make sure to check it out. So coming up September 13th, that's our launch date. Wednesdays are going to be just like started up around 5:30 and don't expect to get home until 2. This first song here is out on Spotify. Check out my SoundCloud too. That's the Full Carbon Get Up. That's got a lot of sketches for the upcoming album. But this one is called This Is Life. There's a theme tonight, in case you can't tell. A little bit of a theme, but don't worry. Aaron's very silly. Just this last year, he's been quite serious. Hey you, if you're sitting at home, if you're feeling the warmth, do you know we as one, we can make it a storm. It's not just for show. Step into the light. This can't be won with a fight. This is life, this is life, this is really your life. It's life, it's life, it's really your life. This is your it's your only life. If you don't get what you want in this life, then yeah, they call that suffering. But give someone exactly what they say that they need and they like. Is that another thing? Don't play with anything easy. Look up that asserts reason, so get yourself straight and believe me. Your mind is the lock and the key to this life. Oh, this is life, this is life, this is really your life. It's life, it's life, it's really your life. It's your only life. This is life, this is life, this is really your life. It's life, life, really your life. This is your only life. Whoa, whoa. This is it's your only life. Whoa, whoa. This is it's your only life. Thank you. You can check that one out on Spotify. It's called This Is Life. And there's a couple songs by This Is Life, and there's a couple people named Aaron Poole, so make sure to put it all together. Aaron Poole, This Is Life. And for you, Andrew, for you, I promise, next year is going to be a lot more lighthearted, okay? I know you know me from reggae, which is all about sunshine, lollipops, and oppression. Feeling irie, smoking some ganja, and being completely oppressed. This next one is called Nowadays a Good Drummer is a Hard Thing to Find. This is a full carbon get-up classic. For those of you who remember back in the day gigging, this was at every show. And if you catch me at Oddity, you'll probably see it there as well. But I had to write a song about how hard it is to find a good drummer. Thank you, Augie. Well, nowadays a good drummer is a hard thing to find. Someone slick with tricks, can't keep time. Others playing on the music and that shit sounds fine. Play in the crowd, they lose it and go out of their minds. Now every motherfucker comes, says he plays drum. Known to do guitar, some do bombastic bass home. And drone on and on how we wrote the best song. How you holding it weird and you're playing it, or don't you try to question each song. Either shut up or just play along, because one man's trash is another man's treasure. I said everyone's got their own style, own way of asking, own smile when they ask what's the last thing you did in a while, whether it's writing or rapping. And if you got your own file at the Bureau of Patents, but you know when they're asking such questions, actually confessing to the fact that they're regressive, suppressive, messed up jerks who think they're blessed and can't see that their own shit don't work. So I said, don't you try question these songs, either shut up or just play along, because one man's trash is another man's treasure. Try question each song, either shut up or just play along, because one man's trash is another man's treasure. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't you try. Don't you try to question each song, either shut up or just play along, because one man's trash is another man's treasure. Treasure, treasure, treasure. The pleasure is on mine. Right another line, whether you like it or not, because I'm wasting my own time. Say you don't have to listen, you ain't missing much, except another dragon on his personal touch to the industry. Well, maybe he sucks and don't buy the damn CD. It don't rip a single bug, cause he's looking like the rest, but we knew that all along. I said the joke is in the mess. I told you was wrong. Don't you try question each song, either shut up or just play along, because one man's trash is another man's treasure. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't you try question each song, either shut up or just play along, because one man's trash is another man's treasure. Oh, I said don't you try question each song. Either shut up or play along. Ooh, don't you try to question each song. Either shut up or just play along. Because one man's trash is another man's treasure. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Thank you much. That was nowadays a good drummer. Parentheses is a hard thing to find. I did. I wrote that. Actually, it was our third gig. And I was sitting in the car. I was like, man, this guy can't keep a beat. But Augie can. Augie's all over it. I'm looking forward to the setup next. We got Jake, Ty Mathis, and Augie gonna rock the house up next. We got one more here for you. This last one is a little bit of like the single, the full carbon single. Got the vibe, got the side. Hip, slip, and ride. Myke Z on the little bass. I love it. I love that bass, man. I don't remember when I met you, but I'm glad I did. We were separated. You remember the doppelganger photo? It's a good photo. Okay, yeah. For those of you, go look up the meme, doppelganger. We were famous 6 years ago. Internet famous. All right, this one's called Fade. Gliding through distant hemisphere, no resistance anywhere. It seems to make sense that this feels to me like a dream. Flying through the cloud banks and the teardrops tearing to the earth. The first to hit realizes each birth is its curse. Oh, denying that the water is stronger when under a sense of cooperation is the unification of the words I said. Memories, amphetamines fading into one. And recently, my life seemed like it's just me, Just make your way to the fountain, whether you climb a stream or go straight through a mountain. Fly by your mind's eye, just decide if riding highs, but you really wanna try, say, why cry? You can always change your life. You can find a house, 3 kids, and a wife. It's not right. Try and turn it out with a knife. It's all the dots got the not the people's try. So I say memories, amphetamine, fading into one. And recently, my life seemed like it's just been, Sweet bop-beat, I'm fit, bop-bop-bop. Say contemplate, ooh, contemplate. Time to take a break, showing up early but wanting to be late. Relax your state, meditate, whatever you choose as your way. Don't hesitate because it all comes down to the place you're in right now. Shout a growl, gotta find your way out. So you gotta be vacant, so full of the doubt, but I don't know what each individual is about. Ooh, none is about. I say memories, amphetamines, all fading into one. And recently, my life seemed like it's just begun. 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 Like it just begun. Like it just begun. Like it. It's wonderful to be here on the Koh Show. Support local music. Support original music. It's just like a plant. If you don't water it, it doesn't grow. Support the Koh Show. Always looking for good local artists. Thank y'all for having us. My name is Aaron Poole. We got Myke C on the bass. We got Augie Parodi on the drums. Tonight we are the Full Carbon Get Up. Yes, Make sure to check out the fullcarbongetup.com. Look at that. I'm putting a plug in the song. You can't delete that. All right, boys, you want to take it for one more ride and head it on out? Memories, amphetamines, fading into one. And recently, my life seems like it's just begun. Thank you so much for having us. Full Carbon Get Up. Make sure to check out the fullcarbongetup.com for any dates, music, all that good stuff. And of course, thank you, Koh Show, for having us out. Wonderful to be here.
That was awesome. I have a question for you before you go.
Absolutely.
So Chris texted me. You can be wet. That's fine. Chris texted me yesterday and said he apologized for not being here.
Yeah.
And he said that he asked me to tell the story about the time he almost killed you. And he says that he's sorry.
I was hesitant to tell it because it really makes it's like our story, right? It's not really like for everybody, but you know what? Just because
he put it out there. He texted me specifically.
Right.
Yeah.
And also too, he has a good excuse for not being here. But when I realized Chris wasn't going to be here in the audience tonight, I was emotionally destroyed. So I'm going to tell this. I'm going to tell this story.
So he almost killed you again tonight, also by not being here.
So we grew up in Wilmington, Delaware, and we grew up around like the Ursuline blocks, around 52. And all that stuff. And his family was like 2 blocks over and around probably like 12 or 13 years old. It might have been a little bit later. And I don't know if I should include, too, that I had this huge crush on this girl and things were going really well. But anyway, so around this age, trust me, it comes back into play. So it's snowing. We had this huge blizzard. We're all playing, a bunch of kids playing. And we were pitching snowballs to each other and dinging them with a metal bat. And it was fun, throw a snowball, whack it with a bat. Well, at one point, it's icy, so the bat was slippery. But I give Chris a pitch right down the middle, and he swings and hits a snowball, and the bat flies out of his hands. And it does 2 full rotations and hits me square in the forehead, making a perfect circle.
Is it still there? No, it looks good. It looks fine. Looks fine. You look good. You look like you recovered.
It does. It explains a lot. Prior to that, I was an honors student. No, but the rest of the story is because it was like such a perfect circle, it did not look like an accident. It looked like I was part of a medical experiment. And for the next 2 weeks in school, I had this huge welt. And when it started draining, it drained down my face, and my face was yellow. As I was asking this girl to the dance.
Oh.
And she said no. And here's the thing, that's fine. But Chris, to this day, and this is a testament to Chris's character, to this day, he still feels terrible about it. And I'm like, Chris, it's good. That was a long time. But he's still, every time I see him, he's like, oh, it's Aaron. I got to buy you a drink. I got to invite you to Koh Show. That's the only reason. That's the only reason I got on this show.
And then he wasn't here tonight because he felt so guilty.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, sure,
Nepotism. Yeah. No, thank you all for having me so much. But that's the story, Chris Maloney and I. And we are going to be in a band at one point. We've been talking about it since that age. So it'll happen at some point. But thank you all. Thanks, Myke. Thanks, Augie, for sitting in. Thank you all for having us. Full Carbon out.
One more story.
I got too many stories. Stories for days.